Guys, welcome to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. Today we're going to be making stew. So we've got here some beef, some onions, some stock, chilli, leek, salt, pepper, lay and parents, mushrooms, mixed herbs and spices, and some carrots. This is an ideal family dish, a winter warmer, nice and tasty, slow cooked. If you've got a crock pot, even better. But first we're going to just do all the veg. So what I do here is just remove the stock. Nice and simple, back and forward. Pop it in your bowl there. Again, back and forward. Easy as that. Always remove the stalks. Then we're on to the carrots, just washed, peeled. All we're going to do here is top and tail. Nice and simple. Watch your fingers. Now I like big chunks of carrot in my stews so that the breakdown, their sweetness goes into it. And as you can see here, relatively big chunks, no fine dice. There you go, nice big pieces of carrot. Then we get on to the leek. Now I've sliced leek down the middle there, as you can see, fanned it out, give it a good wash, make sure you get all the dirt out. I've topped it, I've left the root on, makes it easier to wash and get in beside all those layers. Then I'm just going to take the root off, nice and simple, cut it into thirds, flip it over, cut that in half. Make your life as easy as possible. And then we're just going to, this one's a bit finer as we're cutting it, so that the leek breaks down into the sauce, making you a really thick gravy. And all you're doing is repeating that. And doing the last one now. Guys, if you're liking these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. To subscribe costs you absolutely nothing, and you get to hear my soft Scottish voice right to your phone or mobile device or laptop or however you're watching this. Anyway, let's get on to the onions. So I know you're not meant to top and tail onions while you're cutting them up. I always do. Just top and tail, remove any excess skin, if you will. Take the bottom off. Then, for this recipe, cut through it. Now, I remove the outer layer, but I also remove the outer layer of the onion. Because we all know onions are like ogres. They've got layers. Now, I'm cutting across the green here. Then, what I'm going to do is go flip that around, cut down through it, because it automatically gives you a reasonably moderate dice. And again, just repeat that process. Watching your fingers as you do it. Now we've got some flour here. All we're going to do, add into that, is a bit of salt and pepper. Make it a seasoned flour. There's the salt. There's the pepper. Now you're just going to mix that up, so it's incorporated throughout the whole of the flour. Then we're going to just dredge the beef. Give it a good coating. Secret to this is not to overdo it. Any excess bits of fat there, again, I just trim off. And this is stewing steak, ideal for this dish. Low and slow, that's how we're going to cook it. So again, pop them in, try and keep one hand dry. You will make a bit of a mess here, unless you're uber careful. And you just keep repeating that process. Now onto the garlic. Easy way to peel garlic, gentle push down, it'll crack it open a little bit. And you'll be able to just peel it. Now, I'm not slicing the garlic in this recipe. What we're going to do is we're just going to use the back of the knife and crush it so it actually oozes out into the stew and breaks down over time. Remember, low and slow. So we just peel that, get rid of the covering. Back of the knife, push down, job done. So we have our garlic, we've got our coated steak, and we've got all our vegetables. We're ready to go. So get yourself your pan on, make sure you've got a little bit of oil in it, red hot, and then what we're doing is we're just going to brown off all the steak just so it's got a little bit of colour on it, nothing too much. As you can see here, nice little bit of colour on it. All that flour is going to go into the gravy and thicken it, the sauce, as you go. All you're going to do now, you don't want to overload the pan, so you just little batches. Now once you've removed all that, as you can see here, the next step is we've got all that at the bottom. We're going to deglaze that with the liquid in a little bit, but first we're going to add in all the veg and we're going to soften that down. So just give that a bit of a stir. Now we're just going to let that soften for a little bit. Add in salt and pepper. As you can see here, we're seasoning quite liberally. But it's to your own taste. We're giving that another stir. Now that we've left that for a little bit, we're going to add in some liquid. We want enough water just to cover all the vegetables at this stage. We're going to give that a stir. We're going to scrape off all the bits off the bottom. They'll go into the sauce. That's the flour that's turned into not a roux, but almost just to thicken that sauce up. Then we add in the meat. Just before that though, we're adding in the herbs and spices. Now I've got parsley, oregano, thyme, rosemary, sage, all dried, all in one easy pot, just to do that. Then we give it a bit of a stir. From here, what we're going to do now, get the meat that we've browned off ever so slightly. It's been resting for a little while, so the juices will go back in, and we mix it in with the veg. So at this stage you can see we can add in the chilli. Now that's up to you. I just add in a whole chilli. It just permeates a little bit of heat. You don't have to, you can leave it out. Then also added in a little dash of Worcestershire sauce, just to make, it's all about the depths and levels of flavour. Add in a couple of oxo cubes. Crush them up in the packet, which is what it's designed for, like a little parcel, and then it just crumbles in. Spread that out. I've got a couple of those. And I've also got some stock pots. Now there's two different types here. The darker ones are the rich beef stock, and the lighter ones are just normal beef stock. I like to use both. Again, it's just about the depth of flavour. And remember, I'm not a professional chef. This is all about home cooking, family meals, relatively quick to make, preparation wise, long time to cook. Then we're just going to give that a stir in. Make sure that's all mixed. Make sure the stock cubes are incorporated there in the liquid. Then it's time to leave it. Put a lid on, let it cook. So as we come back, you can see here it's reduced down nice and thick, and it's getting there. We just want to make sure we can give it a bit of a stir. So once we come back, you can see there it's still got lots of liquid in it. So we want to just make sure that that's still reducing. Like I said, if you've got a crock pot, you can put it in that, or you can put it in the oven. I just do mine on the stove. So we'll leave that to cook a little bit longer. As you can see now, a few hours later, it's reduced down again. Now you can keep reducing this, but just to show you how glossy it is. Now this is an ideal to make steak pie, steak bakes, or just have it on its own with a nice boiled potatoes or mashed potatoes, or even just a big chunky warm bread, loads of butter in a bowl. Whatever you want, this is a great starting point. And as you can see there, it's absolutely beautiful. Now what you want to do is you want to just give it a quick taste at this point. You're tasting the gravy just to make sure that it's seasoned properly. And if you want, you can just alter the seasoning. Again, the seasoning is completely down to you. But guys, look, that's another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. It's homemade stew, nice, slow cooked, absolutely beautiful. From my family to yours. Hope you are all staying safe in this uncertain times. Look after yourselves. And like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Smash the subscriber button. It costs you nothing. And we'll carry on. I'll see you to the next one.